All right, check it out. This doesn't have to do much with my art, but my wife and I are trying to design our living room wall. So I'm not that amazing at, um, uh, clipping photos and putting them together, but I can do enough, well enough for us to get a good idea of what this will look like. Oops. In our in our living room. So come on now, click the new one. Click the next one, bro. Okay. So I will first be kind of resizing these so I can actually see my work area here. Then I'll crop them all down. So these are all the artworks we're considering for our wall. These are artworks I've done. And it's kind of funny, as an artist who doesn't sell a ton of work, you begin to become a collector of your own work. That's always fun. But, you know, maybe that'll change. I'm thinking probably hide that one. I think I'll do that's our living room. This one right here. So start cropping some of these. Oh, I gotta change these. I change each one of these to rasterize a layer, rasterize a layer, rasterize a layer. That way I can go in and start cropping them, manipulating them. Again, this is not my forte, manipulating existing photos. My forte is just sketching and painting in Photoshop. So, I'm going to do the best I can. So this is what I do. I use the polygonal lasso tool. Let's go to my first, that's this one. Yes, the one right there. I'm just going to click here, click here, click here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Deselect. I think I'm going to do the straight on view. Just be easier. That'll give us a better idea of what this will look like. And the shadow is going to obviously be, we'll see. So just inverse that. Wait, delete. Why is that not deleting? What am I doing wrong here? Should delete everything that's outside that selection. Why is it not doing it? By the way, let's oops. Oh, that's right, I'm inverted. Inverse again. Now inverse. Now delete. Why is that not deleting? Hold on. Let's see. What's going on here? Convert to smart object. That's not it. I'm doing here. Rasterize layer. Maybe if I just flip and erase it. What the heck? Oh, that's right. Oh crap. I was on the wrong layer, of course. Okay. Let's go back to this and we're going to minus it because I think I'm inverted already. Yeah. let's get to the actual correct layer, and then delete. And wow, it's always like a simple thing that's wrong here. Okay, this, no, I need the clone stamp for this, right? Is that the clone stamp? Dodge tool, that's not what I want. Where's the clone stamp? These, is that the clone stamp? Yes. So let's clone this, and just go. See, I am not the expert at this. I am not I am not the expert. That is horrible. Okay, let's use the polygon lasso tool. And let's just fucking brush that in with some color. I don't even know. I don't even know. Let's select some color here. Just go back into that. Just give it a nice gradient. I don't know. What's going on here? Why can I not? Oh. Albert, do. I know what I'm doing. I did not have that selected. I think this. Okay, that's good enough, I guess. Erase that out. Here we go. And I have not saved this yet, so. Documents, art. I think this is living room. What did I call it? What did I call it? Living room. I can't find it. Visual art. That's your job. Where the heck did my folder go? On the sandhill? What's that? YouTube vector. Nope. Design living room. That's it. Living room. Mock up. How do you spell mock? Mock up. Okay. So I just gotta address each one of these out. So I'm just gonna hide that one. This one's gonna be doubled up. So it'll be right about this distance. I just merge these two layers. Boom. Then, because this will be one thing together on the wall. That's how we're gonna arrange them actually. So one right above the other. This can actually go in there already. Oops, go on top. And let's shrink that down. Way down. I think they were about. Let's make sure that's straight too, huh? That's straight. Let's see. Nope. Let's go back the other way. That's straight. Pretty close. Pretty close. Maybe just a tiny little adjustment. Everything straight. Call that good for now. I'll make more of an adjustment later. Save that. Now, each one of these has to be lassoed out. That. I decided to not. I had another picture of the living room at an angle, and I'm deciding that's just too difficult because then I'm gonna have to do all these photos at in perspective, right? Oops, I didn't do that. And that's just a little more in depth than I want to get here. Inverse that selection. Oops, did I do it? Nope. Delete. So there we go. So we got that one. And these probably need to be color corrected. Oh, I gotta check the sizes of these too because these are different. So this is called Embers on the Move. This one is the same size as Robot Head Man, which is this one. Yeah, Robot Head Man. These are the same size frames, so that'll be easy to get them proportioned up, together. Oof, man, that needs some adjusting. Look at the lighting on that. Woo! Can't even see that mat early. Okay, well, we'll worry about that later. Let's get everything in the right proportions. And then this one, this turquoisey framed one, is about, sorry, I'm across the room. It's about 2.5 inches bigger, 2 inches maybe, 3 inches wider. So I just have to kind of eyeball that. And where is it? Where is it? That one. I'll just eyeball that. And go, oh, that's approximately, yeah. Polygonal lasso tool, inverse the selection, and then delete the outside. And I actually did this kind of thing for my sister-in-law and just mocked up because they were having issues like designing some spaces in their house. See, it's about a little bit more. It's about that size bigger than the other frames. So those are all proportioned together. Probably not proportioned to the wall. There's probably still big, maybe. Let's get these other ones. Guides. Right layer. That's the one. And we'll see if I want to get in depth and I'll try to color correct these to be all similar. All right. Inverse that selection, delete the background. And these are frames, so it's pretty easy to select. I mean, obviously, a pro could do this and be way more careful and make it look way, way, way better. But I'm not pro. I'm just kind of doing it the best I can with what I know. And I don't know too much when it comes to photo manipulation in Photoshop. Control-Shift-I, delete. Control-D to deselect. And then I believe these are much smaller. So, you know what? One way I could tell, at least to get these proportioned, see the thickness of the frame? I know they're the same thickness. So if I can get the thickness of, actually, let's put this one above so I can see the thickness. And if I could get this down to where the thickness of that frame is the same as the other one, it needs to be a little bigger actually. It's kind of blurry at this size. A little hard to tell, but you know what? I think that's pretty close. So those other frames are bigger, but not that much bigger. I don't know. I think that's pretty close, I guess. Where's that one? There it is. And let's size that down to the same size as this one. Move it up above it so I can actually see. Turn it a bit. Slightly larger, maybe. That's where it says. This one's got to be turned a little bit. It's not quite. Always got to be a little straightened a little bit more. Okay. Now I got to determine if. Shoot, I should have took some measurements. Now I got to determine the scale of these pictures to the wall. I mean, right now I'm just kind of eyeing it. But, I mean, for our purposes, okay, let's see here. That one, that one, that one. Let's just put this at the top so I know it's the shelves. Everything else below that should be pictures except for this one. Transform. Let's figure out how big these are. Actually, when that blue frame was sitting on the table downstairs, it was about that size, maybe. About that size. So this should be the right size for our picture frames. Well, let's get some rulers in here. That's going to help us line them up. Wait, are they going to be lined up this way? They're going to be lined up the other way. Let's take this back up. Back it up. Let's do a ruler this way. Zoom in now. Oh, okay. I put these on the same layer, but this needs to move. Zoom out, man. Okay, 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 okay. Let's move back to my lasso tool. This guy's got to move over slightly. There we go. Deselect. So let's see if that's straight. It's hard to see if it's straight when it's got that weird jaggedy line. Let's go a little bit closer. It's like that stair-steppy line. It's hard to see. That's pretty straight. That's good. Okay. But is it straight to the wall? Look at this. Look at the wall, corner of the wall. Maybe I'll just skew these to perspective. So like, I'll just skew them. Like that slightly. I'll undo that for a second. And copy, duplicate layer. Duplicate. Add that one. Then I'll skew it just in case. Not a big deal, but not a big deal. Okay, now let's get to moving these bad boys around. Whoop. Okay. This is always annoying. Alright. What I was thinking downstairs was it's annoying. There's a setting where you can, when you have the this tool. What is this tool called? I don't even know what these dumb tools are called. Move tool. When you have the move tool selected and you press Control and then you click on one of your images, it'll go straight to selecting that layer. Select this layer. Boom. See, now it's this layer, and now I can move this around. So for some reason it was kind of being a little slow or something. Come on now, zoom out. Okay. My file is a little heavy. Okay. Now to arrange these. I think I want this one over there, this one. Oh, come on now. Click, Control, click. This one up here. I think I want these two right there. So that one. So these two. Come on, Control and click. I'm trying to click both layers at the same time. These right here. Oops, wrong one. Move that down a bit. See, this feels so not straight. That's because it's not. That's the wrong layer. Wrong layer again. Of course, it might be skewed in perspective, and it is. So, put a ruler there, ruler over there. Let's get it straightened up to one side, ruler. And then we'll do a little perspective. I gotta get closer, man. That thing's not cooperating. Zoom out, man. Zoom out. Zoom out. Come on. Now we'll do transfer. Actually, let's move this ruler a little closer in. Then we'll do transform. Then perspective. I think that'll do it. And then, see, it's doing both sides. So let's do just Alt. Is that it? No. Is it Shift? I'm doing this wrong. It's going like that. Undo that. I mean, that is right. I need to raise the bottom. But now I just need to figure out if that was, it was hard to tell if that was enough. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay. It looks more in perspective now. Okay. Much better. Now let's make sure it's straight at the top. Just a little off. That's better. Come on. Come on. The files are really bogging down. Okay. Now what was I thinking for this side? I was thinking to put this guy in the middle. What was I thinking? Moving these rulers over to figure out if this guy's out of alignment. He also is out of alignment. So we'll do a perspective transform on him and widen the base. Enter free transform. See if that. Oh, that's better. Much better. Okay. Now. Oh, this guy's off on this side. Let's see. Just correcting the perspective of these because it's really bugging my eye. Yeah, he's off just a little bit perspective. So perspective transform, and we're gonna go out this way, just a tad because I don't think it's too bad. That's much better. I don't really like this setup. I could take a robot head man. That's the name of this piece. What if I just do? I take him out completely and just say bye-bye. And then move this one up. Move these two down into the middle of that one. And this one. What is that? Why did they both move? That was weird. And this one. What is that? Why is it not moving? Oops. This is not the same size frame. Looks like it is. I don't think it is. I think that looks pretty good. It's really basic, but is it too cluttered? We'll call this one version. So copy all this. this one will go down here, this guy. So the rest of these, should I set? Alright. The rest of these will, there we go, transform to there. Let's make it the size we want, and then we're going to take all these, I'm going to group these. Oh, come on. Group of layers. Group 1 will be version 1. Then I'm going to duplicate all this. Duplicate group. That's going to be group 2. Boom. So group 2, oh geez, that's not what I wanted to do. Group 2. I want the 2. There we go. I have control clicked because I'm used to clicking control when you, because I want to switch to move tool. You press the control. But if you already have the move tool selected and then you press control, you end up selecting one thing, right? One layer, it'll select one layer out of all your layers instead of the group. Anyway. So now that I have this group 2 over here, I want to play around a little bit more. Let's bring back a robot head man. I think, what was I gonna do? I had another idea. I think I was going to do robot head man and this one together. Right in the middle like that. And then I think I was gonna do this one and this one and this one stacked like that. Where is that one? There we go. Something like that. That's a little absurd unless I do these this way. And then these bad boys switched over here. And then I mean, at least I'll have, I'm going to adjust, oops, that's not what I want. This, is that what I want? No. I want to adjust Robot Headman because he has some serious issues. Levels, maybe. There we go. That's better. It's not quite as dark anymore as he was. That's a lot better, actually. And of course, we'll have some decorative items on these shelves. And my wife and I can later browse the internet and find some items or something just to fill those shelves, which is interesting because these three pictures need to come up because, oops, wrong pictures. Because what'll happen is these shelves will end up having stuff like, so let me get a brush to show you. So it'll be like, you know, oh shoot, that's too light of a brush. Let's see. So it'll be like a potted plant here, you know, like sitting here, and another item here, and another item here, or whatever, and maybe books, or I don't know, some things here anyway, and then a thing here, and then a thing here, and blah 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 blah, and then if these weren't moved up, they would look low because they would be visually not centered. Now they're visually centered because you have stuff sticking up. So now the center of this is right here. Well, that's kind of funny because that would, the center of the pictures is right here. But in reality, like, this is the only thing sticking up above any of that. So really, it's probably a happy medium, like right in there. And that lines up almost with the middle of this. So like visually you want these centered with these shelves. If you just center this picture, if you center the center of this with the center here, it won't look centered once you get all this stuff up above here. That makes sense? That's always a tricky thing in design and interior decorating and even graphic design. Like say you have a t-shirt like this, and you have a design that's, gosh, how do I, maybe it's an asymmetrical design with something heavy here, and maybe it's got something sticking out here, something like that. I'm trying to think of an example. It's like if you had text, say I'll write my name, and I had like a Y that's like very long like that. Well, if you just centered on the shirt, say where it's the print area is this, and you just centered on that print area, well, the center of this Byron would be right here. But there's so much weight at the top because of all the letters are here that really you'd have to move that down to be visually centered where it needs to be on that shirt, if that makes sense. Because this is so much lighter than this heaviness of all this text up here that you can't just flat out mathematically center it, because visually it would look too heavy at the top. Because you just have this little tiny thing coming down this way. Anyway, I've run into that a lot in design, and it is an interesting scenario. It really is. yeah, anyway, I could think of other examples, but this is about where those pictures should line up, I think, to be visually centered and weighted with keeping in mind what's going to go on top of these shelves. And again, if you have copy, paste, this is going to go in group 1. You know, so with this scenario over here in group 1, you know, visually, right now these pictures are mathematically centered right between those shelves. But I mean, that might be fine because there is so much weight right in the middle, so that keeps it balanced, and it's only like this and this that are going up above. When in this scenario, you know, you got so much weight going vertical, and then you have this, so now this box here is much higher than this, you know what I mean? So over here it's a little different because it's not as out of balance because everything's kind of centered in that match right there. So these may not have to move up. They may be okay. But I can show my wife these and see what she thinks, and then maybe we'll finally have pictures up in our living room besides this one and one other one that's on the other side of this window. But that's it. Kind of fun to do this in Photoshop. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.